From the sand there were two sets of lights. One down the shore, one across the water. They looked the same.
We should have gone straight for the piers.
I went for the water. The lights on the far shore looked like buildings. The page calls them phenomena. Structures that some claim are familiar, regardless of legitimacy. Some risk mortal peril to reach home. I was in the water to my knees before the strangers pulled me back. She does not know that part.
You stopped, though.
Two wanderers held my arm and walked us the long way. Through the forest. The safe-looking route is the one that kills you here. 4 bottles. That is what we had. The lake was small enough to see across. 60 hectares, 8 meters deep, 3 degrees, 775 meters of water that would kill you before you reached the middle.
I kept telling you to walk faster.
The forest path took longer than the swim would have. Every tree looked the same. The wanderers did not explain. They just walked and we followed.
They knew which lights were real.
They knew because they live here. That is the only test this level has. Lantern Town, the only known settlement on this level. Founded in 1985. 78 permanent residents and a handful of us passing through.
Built half on the sand and half on the water. The piers go further than the beach does.
Every light in this town is a kept firelight. The same thing I followed across the plains. Trapped, fed, hung on a hook by the door.
They feed them hound meat. The racks outside are drying it.
The town eats the thing that hunts it and lights its houses with the thing that kills it. Lumber that will not burn. Algae off the floats. Hound jerky on the racks.
It smells like work.
It smells like 78 people who figured out how to stay. A man named Halloran kept the drying racks and a tally beside them. He did not ask where we came from.
6 bottles, 3 a day feeds 1. That covers both of you for today. You work it off tomorrow.
He handed me the bottles. They were blue.
That is what we stock. The blue keeps your head clear.
I have never seen one that color. The town treated it like ordinary stock.
Drink, both of you.
Which pier did we come in on?
The short one. She nodded and it was fine.
Right. The short one.
3 bottles a day is 1 person fed. We have been running 2 people on 4 bottles total. Over 4 days the audit stopped moving. She did not lose anything new. She did not get anything back. Whatever the water does, it holds the line. On the 4th night, I stood at the window at the end of the corridor. 2nd floor. A real window in a real building, looking out over the water. The last time I watched a building from the outside, it was the house on the horizon. The one that let her see it and never let us reach it. I was crying because for 4 days I had been quietly certain I was losing her again, and I had not told anyone, including her. And she was not. The water held.
Cole, come back to bed.
The pieces that are already gone are still gone. A sentence she started at 283 that I will never hear the end of. But the ones that are left are still here.
You are standing in the cold.
She rested. I worked. 6 bottles fronted and a day's labor buys 2 back. The arithmetic does not close.
The timber does not burn. Stack it any way you like.
I stacked timber. I scraped algae off the floats. I turned meat on the racks.
You do not raid these woods. Every tree out there is the same tree. No rings, nothing to count. So you count your own turns and you come back the way you went in.
A motto was painted on the lumber shed. The UEC our town within. The faction annexed this place in 2013.
They keep the hounds off the cutters. That is the deal.
You forgot your water.
She was standing in the doorway holding the blue bottle. The one I had left on the table so she would have an extra. The end of the pier after a shift. Halloran sat on a crate and talked.
Storms come every 2 weeks. No warning. You learn the count, not the sky.
He told me about the lights.
The guides laid wanderers to almond water. The firelights copy them. If you followed lights on the plains, you followed the wrong ones.
I followed the wrong ones.
Most people do. The guides never get within 10 meters of territory. That is how you tell.
Every native entity avoids the lakes. Nobody knows why. The safest ground on the level is safe for a reason no one can name.
A vault pelt trades for 20 bottles elsewhere. Not here. Here we trade labor.
At level 6.1, she had the room and the job and I was the one being looked after. Here it was the other way around. I did not say the word I thought then. So, I asked him about exits.
There is a concrete cube in the beach sand. It drops you into level 107. The safe way out. There are 2 worse options. I would not take those.
The room, warm, the window dark.
You were out there a long time.
I told her there is a way out. A concrete cube on the beach.
How much water do we have?
Enough for the walk. I will find more.
You always say that.
I told her I would save her. I said it sitting on the edge of a bed in a borrowed room, and it was the smallest I have ever made a promise.
Then we go in the morning.
There is no morning here. Just the same duh. But she meant it and I meant it. I am going to save her.